The door swung open with a sharp creak, and there stood Emerson, her eyes wide as saucers, frozen in the threshold of our cramped dorm room at UCLA. I was tangled in the arms of Alex, a girl from my psych class, our lips just pulling apart in a haze of stolen passion that I'd hidden for months. But the shock on Emerson's face wasn't just betrayal. It twisted into something raw, a confession she buried deeper than my own secrets. And in that instant, our unbreakable friendship shattered into a million unspoken questions. My heart slammed against my ribs like a trapped bird, desperate to escape. How could I explain this? Emerson, my roommate and best friend since freshman orientation, the one who'd seen me through breakups and breakdowns, now knew the truth I'd fought to deny even to myself. I pushed Alex away gently, my voice cracking as I stammered. And wait, it's not what it looks like. But it was exactly what it looked like, and the lie hung heavy in the air, thickening the silence. Emerson stepped inside, closing the door behind her with a soft click that echoed like a gunshot. Her backpack slid off her shoulder, thumping to the floor. Alex mumbled an apology and grabbed her jacket, slipping out without another word, leaving me alone with the storm brewing in Emerson's eyes. "Brinley," she whispered, her voice trembling, "How long? How long have you been lying to me?" I sank onto my bed, the weight of her gaze pinning me down. Inside, my mind raced. This wasn't supposed to happen. I'd planned to keep it hidden, to graduate and move on without dragging anyone into my confusion. But now, the dam had broken. Growing up in a small town in Ohio, I'd always known I was different. My parents, devout Catholics, raised me on Sunday masses and family dinners where marriage meant man and wife, no exceptions. College was my escape, a chance to breathe without their watchful eyes. Emerson was the first real friend I'd made here. Outgoing, funny, with a laugh that could light up the darkest days. We'd bonded over late-night study sessions and shared dreams of changing the world. She came from a progressive family in Seattle, the kind that marched in pride parades, but even with her I'd kept my guard up. Fear had become my constant companion, whispering that coming out would cost me everything. As Emerson paced the room, her hands clenched into fists, I felt the guilt coil tighter in my chest. "I didn't want to drag you into this," I said, my words barely above a whisper. "My family, they wouldn't understand. Hell, I barely understand it myself." She stopped, turning to face me, her expression a mix of hurt and anger. "Drag me? Bryn, we're supposed to be best friends. You think I care about that? But lying, that's what hurts." Her voice broke, and she sat on her bed across from mine, the narrow space between us feeling like an ocean. That night, sleep evaded me. I lay staring at the ceiling, replaying the scene in my head. What if she told someone? What if word got back to my parents? The thought sent a chill down my spine. My mom had always said, "Love is a choice, Brinley, and the right one leads to happiness." But this didn't feel like a choice. It felt like destiny, terrifying and inevitable. Emerson tossed in her bed too, her breathing uneven. By morning, the tension was palpable, like a fog we couldn't shake. We avoided each other in the days that followed. Classes became my refuge, but even there, doubts gnawed at me. Alex texted asking if I was okay, but I ignored her. This wasn't about her. It was about the life I'd built on half-truths. Emerson started spending more time at the library, coming back late with red-rimmed eyes. One evening I couldn't take it anymore. "We need to talk," I said as she walked in. She nodded, setting down her books. "Yeah, we do." The conversation spilled out like a flood. I told her about the crushes I'd had in high school, the way I'd forced myself into dates with boys to fit in. "It's like wearing a mask every day," I confessed, tears streaming down my face. "And taking it off scares me more than anything." Emerson listened, her initial anger softening into empathy. But then she dropped her own bomb. "Bryn, I've felt things too. For you." My world tilted. This wasn't just about my secret, it was about hers. The revelation hung between us, charged and electric. Emerson's cheeks flushed as she continued. "I didn't know how to say it. I thought you were straight, and I didn't want to ruin our friendship." Inside, my thoughts swirled. Was this real? Or was it just the shock talking? I reached out, taking her hand, feeling the warmth that had always been there but now meant something more. But doubt crept in. What about my family? What about society's stares? The choices ahead loomed like shadows. As weeks passed, our relationship shifted subtly. Stolen glances turned into lingering touches, conversations deepened into confessions. But the outside world pressed in. At a campus party, a guy from my dorm made a crude joke about those lesbians, and I froze, pulling away from Emerson's side. She noticed, her eyes narrowing. "You ashamed of me?" she asked later, back in the room. "No," I lied, but the truth was, I was ashamed of myself. The pressure built. My parents called weekly, asking about boys, about my future. "Find a nice guy, settle down," my dad would say. Each call was a reminder of the life they expected. Emerson pushed for more openness. "We can't hide forever," she'd argue. But hiding felt safe. One night, after a heated discussion, she stormed out, leaving me alone with my fears. What if loving her meant losing everything else? Reconciliation came slowly. I apologized, admitting my cowardice. "I'm scared, Em. My family would disown me." She hugged me, whispering, "We'll face it together." But deep down, I wondered if that was possible. The internal battle raged. Follow my heart or preserve the facade. Every decision felt like a betrayal. To myself, to her, to my roots. Society's weight added to the strain. Whispers in the halls, judgmental looks from classmates. A professor's offhand comment about traditional values stung like a slap. Emerson, bolder than me, confronted a friend who'd made a snide remark. "Love is love," she declared. I admired her strength but envied it too. Why couldn't I be like that? As midterms approached, stress amplified everything. I snapped at Emerson over nothing, regretting it instantly. "I'm sorry," I said, pulling her close. But the damage lingered, a crack in our budding bond. Inside I questioned, was this worth the pain? The answer eluded me, but the pull toward her grew stronger. One afternoon, walking across campus, we held hands briefly. A rush of freedom washed over me, but then I spotted a familiar face, my cousin, visiting from home. Panic surged. I dropped her hand, pretending it was nothing. Emerson's hurt was palpable. "When will you choose us?" she asked that night, voice laced with desperation. The confrontation escalated. "I can't just throw away my family," I shouted. "And I can't keep being your secret," she shot back. Tears flowed as we aired grievances, each word a dagger. In the end, we collapsed into silence, exhausted but unresolved. The silence stretched into days, a chasm widening between us. I buried myself in books, avoiding Emerson's gaze, but her presence was inescapable in our shared space. Every night, I'd lie awake, replaying our argument, wondering if I'd pushed too far. My mind churned with what-ifs. What if I came out? What if I lost her? The fear of rejection from my family clawed at me. Memories of my parents' stern lectures on morality flashing like warning signs. Emerson tried to bridge the gap first. One evening, she brought home my favorite takeout, Thai from the place down the street. "Truce," she said, holding out a container. I nodded, grateful for the olive branch. As we ate, conversation flowed tentatively, skirting the heavy topics. But underneath, the tension simmered. "I get it, Bryn," she said softly. "Your family's important. But so are we." Her words hit home, stirring a mix of guilt and longing. The next hurdle came unexpectedly. My parents announced a surprise visit for Parents' Weekend. Panic set in. How could I hide this? Emerson offered to stay with a friend, but that felt like another lie. "No," I decided. "Stay. We'll act normal." But normal was a facade cracking under pressure. As the day approached, my anxiety spiked. What if they sensed something? When they arrived, the dorm buzzed with families. My mom hugged me tightly, Dad clapping my back. Emerson greeted them politely, her smile strained. Over lunch, Mom asked about my social life. "Any boys catching your eye?" I forced a laugh, glancing at Emerson, who looked away. The meal dragged, each question a minefield. Inside I screamed, "This isn't me." But I played along, the cost of peace. After they left, Emerson exploded. That was torture. Pretending we're just roommates. I defended myself. What was I supposed to do? Tell them right there. The fight reignited old wounds. "You're choosing them over us," she accused. Hurt, I retreated, but her words echoed, forcing me to confront my indecision. Campus life added fuel. A pride event was happening, and Emerson wanted to go together. It could be a step, she urged. I hesitated, visions of photos online reaching home terrifying me. But her pleading eyes won out. We went, holding hands amid the crowd. For a moment, it felt liberating, colors, cheers, acceptance. But then doubt crept in. Was I ready for this exposure? A betrayal loomed on the horizon. Alex, the girl from before, cornered me after class. I miss you, she said, leaning close. In a weak moment, lonely from the fights, I let her hug me too long. Emerson saw, misunderstanding everything. How could you? She demanded back in the room. It was nothing. I insisted, but the damage was done. Trust fractured. The fallout was brutal. Emerson packed a bag, staying with friends. Alone, I wallowed in regret. Why had I let that happen? My inner turmoil peaked. I'd hurt the one person who understood me. Calls to her went unanswered, amplifying my isolation. Family pressure mounted too. Mom texted about a family friend's son, suggesting a setup. The irony burned. Reaching out became imperative. I found Emerson at a coffee shop, tears in her eyes. I'm sorry, I said, pouring out my fears. She listened, then admitted her own insecurities. I pushed too hard sometimes. We reconciled, but scars remained. The decision to move forward meant facing realities. Society's biases hit harder. A dorm mate outed someone else, sparking rumors. Fear gripped me. What if it was us next? Emerson suggested therapy, but I resisted, pride holding me back. Eventually, I agreed, the sessions peeling back layers of denial. You deserve happiness, the counselor said. But happiness felt elusive. As winter break neared, dread built. Going home meant more pretending. Emerson planned to visit her family, inviting me. Come with me. Meet people who get it. The offer tempted, but loyalty to my parents won. I can't, I said, the choice tasting bitter. The separation tested us. Over break, I endured family gatherings, questions about my single status grading. Inside, I missed Emerson fiercely, her texts my lifeline. One night, after a tense dinner where Dad ranted about modern sins, I nearly broke. The moral conflict raged. Was loving her wrong? Returning to campus, we reunited emotionally. I can't do this halfway, Emerson declared. I nodded, committing to change. But change came with costs. I started distancing from toxic friends, embracing authenticity. Yet each step forward invited backlash. A major confrontation arose with my roommate circle. A group chat exploded when someone joked about our closeness. Emerson defended us fiercely. But I stayed silent, cowardice prevailing. Later, she called me out. Your silence hurts more than words. Ashamed, I vowed to do better. The turning point came during a family call. Mom sensed my distraction. What's wrong, honey? I skirted, but the lie choked me. After hanging up, I confided in Emerson. I need to tell them. Her support bolstered me, but fear lingered. Planning the revelation consumed me. What words to use? How to brace for rejection? Emerson role-played scenarios, her optimism clashing with my pessimism. They love you, she insisted. But love had conditions in my world. The call home was scheduled for a quiet Sunday afternoon, but my nerves made it feel like Judgment Day. Emerson sat beside me on the bed, her hand in mine for strength. I dialed, heart pounding. Mom answered cheerfully, Dad in the background. Hey, sweetie. How's school? Small talk dragged, each second building tension. Finally, I blurted. I need to tell you something important. Silence followed my confession. I'm gay, and I'm in love with Emerson. Mom's gasp echoed, Dad's voice booming. What? This is nonsense. The argument erupted, scriptures quoted, disappointments voiced. We raised you better, Mom cried. I defended, tears flowing. This is who I am. Emerson whispered encouragement, but the call ended in anger, them hanging up. The aftermath crushed me. No calls, no texts. Rejection's sting was visceral. Emerson held me as I sobbed, questioning everything. Had I made the right choice? The moral dilemma haunted. Family bonds versus self-truth. Society's echo amplified. Stories of disownment online fueling my despair. Emerson's family contrasted sharply. She called them, introducing me virtually. Their warmth enveloped. Welcome to the family. It highlighted my loss, stirring envy and gratitude. But healing began slowly. Therapy helped process the pain, unpacking years of suppression. Campus reactions varied. Some friends distanced, others embraced. A support group became my haven, sharing stories of similar struggles. Emerson's unwavering presence grounded me, but strains showed. I hate seeing you hurt, she'd say, her own guilt surfacing for pushing me. A betrayal from within struck. My cousin, the one I'd seen on campus, told my extended family. Gossip spread, aunts calling with concerns. The invasion fueled rage. Why couldn't they let me be? Emerson confronted my cousin online, defending fiercely. Back off, she messaged. The fallout isolated me further from roots. Internal conflicts peaked. Nights of doubt. Was love worth this exile? Emerson's patience wore thin. We're in this together, she'd remind, but her eyes betrayed worry. We argued over next steps. Therapy for us, perhaps. I need you to fight for us, she said. Society's pressures mounted. A campus debate on LGBTQ rights turned ugly, protesters clashing. We attended, holding signs, but slurs thrown shook me. Emerson stood tall, chanting back. Her courage inspired, but fear lingered. What if violence escalated? Personal growth emerged amid chaos. I volunteered at a pride center, finding purpose. Stories of resilience bolstered me. Emerson joined, our bond strengthening through action. But home's silence gnawed, dreams of reconciliation fading. An unexpected olive branch came, a letter from Mom. I don't understand, but I love you. Tentative hope sparked. Dad remained silent, but it was a start. Sharing with Emerson, we cried together. See? Progress, she said. The journey twisted again. Emerson faced her own family issue. Her brother, conservative, disapproved. He's an idiot, she dismissed, but hurt showed. Supporting her reversed roles, deepening our connection. Mutual vulnerability fostered trust. Moral quandaries persisted. Was hiding ever justified? Debates with friends challenged views. Emerson argued for authenticity. I countered with survival. The push-pull defined us, each decision a trade-off. As spring bloomed, so did resolve. I blocked toxic relatives, focusing on chosen family. Emerson proposed a trip, Seattle, to meet hers in person. A fresh start, she said. Excitement mixed with apprehension, leaving comfort zones. The trip was revelatory. Her parents' acceptance healed wounds. Walks hand in hand, no judgments. But thoughts of home intruded. Would mine ever change? Emerson's optimism clashed with my realism. Back at UCLA, reality hit. Finals loomed, stress amplifying issues. A heated argument over future plans, grad school jobs exposed fears. What if we drift? I worried. We won't, she assured, but uncertainty lingered. A damaging rumor spread. Someone claimed we'd recruited a straight friend. Absurd but hurtful. Confronting the source, Emerson's temper flared. Mind your business. The incident highlighted ongoing battles. Therapy breakthroughs came. Acknowledging trauma from upbringing, I forgave myself. Emerson admitted pushing stemmed from her own coming-out scars. Growth bonded us, but costs tallied. Lost relationships, emotional scars. Summer internship offers arrived, pulling us in different directions, me to New York, Emerson to San Francisco. The separation loomed like a threat. We'll make it work, she promised, but doubt seeded. Long distance meant more hiding? Or freedom? Before leaving, a family reunion invite came. Dad's side, conservative stronghold. Mom urged attendance, for peace. Emerson advised against. Don't regress. The choice tore me. Reconcile or protect. I declined, the decision liberating yet lonely. In New York, independence flourished. New friends, queer spaces. But missing Emerson ached. Daily calls sustained, but jealousy crept. Her stories of SF nightlife. Are you seeing someone? I accused once, regret immediate. No, Bryn. Trust me. The strain tested foundations. A moral crossroads hit. At work, a colleague outed casually, facing backlash. I stayed silent, shame following. Calling Emerson, I confessed. You have to stand up, she urged. Next time I did, defending. Pride swelled, but fear of repercussions lingered. Society's mirror reflected harshly. News of anti-LGBTQ bills depressed. Emerson rallied online, petitions signed. Her activism inspired, but my caution clashed. Action matters, she'd say. Balancing involvement became key. Reunion via video with mom progressed. Dad joined reluctantly, words stiff. We're trying. Hope flickered, but Emerson warned. Don't force it. The slow thaw demanded patience, each step a victory amid setbacks. Betrayal struck again. An old friend from home messaged hatefully. You're going to hell. Blocking hurt, severing ties. Emerson comforted. Their loss. But the wound festered, questioning worth. Internship challenges built character. Navigating professional world as out lesbian meant microaggressions. A boss's joke stung. I reported, facing awkwardness. Emerson praised, proud of you. Growth came at emotional cost. As summer waned, reunion neared. Flying to SF, excitement buzzed. Emerson's embrace at airport melted worries. Days together reaffirmed love, but discussions turned serious, future commitments. A damaging fight erupted over marriage views. Someday, she asked. My hesitation. Family's shadow frustrated. When will you let go? Tears flowed, reconciliation passionate, but tentative. Back at UCLA for senior year, dynamics shifted. Openly together, support grew. But challenges persisted. A protest turned violent, us caught in fray. Emerson's minor injury scared. What if worse? Internal awakening deepened. Journaling unpacked traumas, clarity emerging. Love trumped fear. Sharing with Emerson, vulnerability peaked. Family breakthrough. Dad called alone. I miss you. No apologies but openness. Visit. Tentative plans formed, Emerson supportive yet cautious. Society's evolution mirrored personal. Campus policies improved, pride events larger. We participated, voices amplified. But a final betrayal loomed. Alex resurfaced, spreading lies about us. Confronting, Emerson fierce. Stop. Resolution came, but trust in others eroded. As graduation approached, decisions loomed, jobs, locations. Emerson's offer in Seattle, mine in LA. Compromise? Or sacrifice? The tension culminated in a heartfelt talk. I'll move with you, I said. Her joy sealed it, but inside, fears of regret stirred. Senior year flew by in a blur of classes, events, and deepening bonds. Emerson and I navigated the highs and lows. Our relationship a testament to resilience. But the impending real world brought new pressures, job hunts, relocations. My offer in LA conflicted with her Seattle plans. We can do long distance, she suggested, but memories of summer's strain made me pause. Inside, the question burned. Was compromise betrayal to self? Family ties mended unevenly. Visits home were tense but civil. Dad's awkward hugs, mom's probing questions. Bring Emerson next time, she hinted once. Progress, yet shadows of disapproval lingered. Emerson encouraged, baby steps. But each interaction cost emotional energy, weighing choices. Society's winds shifted too. Elections brought hope, then setbacks. We volunteered, canvassing for rights. Exhaustion hit, but purpose drove. A rally speech by Emerson moved crowds, and me. Her passion reminded why I'd chosen this path. Personal damages tallied. Lost friends, strained health from stress. Therapy continued, unpacking. You've paid dearly, counselor noted. Acknowledging sacrifices fostered acceptance. A pivotal moment. Graduation day. Family attended, Emerson's too. Mingling awkwardly, but no explosions. As I walked stage, pride swelled. Not just degree, but journey. Emerson's cheer loudest. Postgrad moves happened. I chose Seattle, sacrificing LA job for us. The decision debated internally, right or wrong. Settling in, new life bloomed. Emerson's family embraced. Mine visited sporadically. But conflicts arose. Job stress led to arguments. You gave up too much, she'd say guiltily. Reassuring hid my doubts. Moral quandary. Was love selfish? Awakening came through community. Joining groups, stories shared. One woman's tale of regret mirrored mine, sparking reflection. We choose daily, Emerson said. A ultimate test, family wedding. Attending with Emerson, whispers abounded. Dad pulled me aside. Proud despite. Incomplete but enough. Emerson's hand in mine grounded. Years blurred, but core remained. Struggles forged strength. Looking back, damages healed, awakenings profound. In the end, was sacrificing family ties for personal truth the right choice? Or did it betray the very foundations of love and loyalty?